No, it's different.
I think it's interesting people that do.
It's different being a girl
Yeah.
mom.
Oh, God
than a
bless.
boy mom when they're pregnant.
1,000%.
Did he touch your
Nipples?
Bash me? We're going there. Bless your heart. Welcome. I want to thank you all with immense gratitude for spending time with me. This is a podcast where we dive deep into the real, raw, and often taboo conversations about culture, relationships, and intimacy. We keep it honest, insightful, and full of humor, creating a space where nothing is off limits. Think of it as your late night conversations with your posse. At its core, the Fully Erect podcast is about empowerment, giving people the confidence to own their desires, communicate openly in their relationships, and break free from outdated stigmas. So join me. We're breaking barriers and breaking stereotypes. Okie dokie, girls. Okay, welcome to our Mother's Day podcast. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So anyway, I just wanted you guys to come on, celebrate the journey of motherhood, which we know is perfection.
Yes.
So easy.
And thank you guys. Like,
easy.
it's so easy because
I'm kidding.
It's been
Yeah.
so easy. I know that there's a lot of challenges in being a mother, but I wanted some cool girls to come on so we could kind of chit-chat about it. Laura Reeves, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
This
you
is
for
Jackie
having me.
Sheffalo, however you want to pronounce it.
Sheffalo.
And Colburn with a B-O-R-N.
Every time.
Margaret
B-O-R-N.
Colburn.
To the born.
And thank you, girls. I am so appreciative. Like, I was kind of like leery on this podcast. I was like, what are we going to talk about? I mean, motherhood is like challenging, beautiful.
Well, how you got to be a mother is the number one question.
Yeah, their story. Well, most people, there's different. I know, that's what I thought was so unique. So I feel like I picked a good group because I feel like everybody probably got there differently. And anyway, I normally do not write a bunch of questions, but this time I was like, if I need them, I know Jacko likes questions. She likes to be very prepared.
I do like to be prepared. I wish you would have sent them to us.
No, it doesn't work that
No,
way.
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way. But no,
Sneaky
anyway,
peeks.
like so yeah.
No scaries. No scaries, Jackie.
We're
So
gonna be
there's
surprised.
See, that's my theory, but I'm like, I don't like to prepare. So.
For anything.
Well, yes, for work.
Well, you got to actually prepare for motherhood, I guess. No, you really didn't, of all three of us, because Margaret here adopted hers with Edna Gladney, correct?
Oh, you did?
I
You
did.
Gladney, baby?
I
Yes.
do have an Edna Gladney baby.
And so you kind of prepared because you had to prepare the whole journal. They like do a whole book. It's pretty major,
that
right?
was a freaking journey in itself. Yeah.
So how many years was that before you actually got a baby?
About 4. Oh, but when we started with Edna Gladney or started?
But tell us the process. Actually, I think it's very interesting,
Well,
like how it started.
It was the one positive of getting married at 20, almost 24. I wasn't even 24. So,
But that's young when you.
that's a
It's so
baby.
young.
That's young.
That's
If
a
you
baby.
adopted when you were 24?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
So we went through the process of trying to get pregnant.
Oh,
for
in vitro.
yes. Oh, all the things. Actually, never did in vitro because we did so much leading up to it.
Oh, I didn't
And
know you
then-
didn't do in vitro.
And then we were so young and trying to make our way. My husband at the time said, we've done 5 years of, like, we're exhausting all avenues. So do you want a baby to come into the house, or do you want to keep trying naturally? And I was like, no, I'll be damned if I'm not going to be a mother. Let's take it, shelf me, and let's get us a baby.
Oh,
Through
wow.
Edna Gladney.
Wow.
So you weren't weird about the whole,
Oh God, no.
I've got to have a,
No.
so how horrible is that process? Like I've heard, like
Edna
private
Gladney?
adoption. Yeah, it's very,
So randomly, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
And I don't remember numbers well, but I was 29 years old. My husband at the time was a year and a half older than me, so he was 30. There were 176 couples waiting,
Wow.
in waiting,
That's a big,
I
big
was
number.
the only one who was under 30.
Wow.
They were
all
above 30.
That's amazing.
Where do you
I remember that like.
did they all get
yesterday.
babies? Do we
Oh,
know
I
that?
have no idea.
But you just
But
remember that
why did
number in the pool.
Why did you get a baby over the others?
Well, her birth mom was Catholic. I'm Catholic.
Oh.
And she did say, because you were younger. So that's
you weren't 38.
yeah.
That's
Which-
okay. I mean, I'm sure they got a baby, because I think
I hope
private
so.
adoption is very different.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend that did private adoption.
like through a
all
lawyer
three,
and such. Yeah.
And so it's different, right?
Yeah.
But when you're Edna Gladney, you're putting a book together, pictures, book, telling everybody like what's
All
that
the
like.
creative crap that I'm so not good with.
So who helped you with that? Did you hire somebody?
You automatically thought she didn't do
I
it.
know she didn't.
Kelly. So who did that for you?
Yeah.
I know she
And
did.
I had a person.
I know
Don't
she
think I
did.
did.
Wait,
Because
can you just go back
in
and
the day-
explain like what
No.
Edna Gladney? Because I'm
Oh.
new to Fort Worth, and
You need to put
I've
it-
only
yeah.
heard of this through Roger because there's
Yeah.
so many, and it's like quite a infamous Fort
It
Worth
It is.
thing.
It's
Okay.
huge.
Yeah.
So Edna Gladney is the woman who
Yeah.
started this, and it was like it started back when our mothers were when our parents were. I think it was like in the 1920. I don't know. I didn't do
Okay,
that
but
right
like
now.
it's yeah,
Old. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been around for a very
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
nobody
the
really
30s.
yeah.
Nobody knew about it because it
Right,
was
yeah.
word of mouth back in the heyday, right?
Right,
Because we
right.
didn't have internet.
Yeah.
And so we grew up. Literally, my ex-husband is from Houston,
Okay.
Texas.
Yeah.
So he had no idea.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking we've got Edna Gladney in our backyard. Like, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
And he came home randomly one day after a bad doctor's visit with the initial paperwork from the booklet from Edna Gladney.
Oh, that's good.
And he was like, well, you kept telling me about Edna Gladney. And he was like, well, I went there, and here's the booklet. And now it is like, it wasn't even international. It was switching to international adoptions. Literally the year after Savannah was born. So that was
Okay.
2002. And it, they have a huge campus now.
Wow.
It started with a little small building,
Yeah.
and it's grown to like literally an
Yeah.
entire city
Yeah.
block.
I mean, so
mean,
it's
it's
mothers move there, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
live
it's
in-house
like- yes.
in Edna
Like
Gladney.
they
Okay.
take care of them. So
Yes.
you know what's weird is, do you know Lisa, the COO?
Not now.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
she's about to be 24. So, I mean, that was
There's
like,
Yeah.
got to be a different one.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, probably. But you look a lot like her. That's why I ask. I'm like,
no, my parents gave birth to me. I mean,
I saw pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she said the monkey, her mom, now how'd your mom describe you again?
As a full-blooded monkey. I mean, I had hair.
Yeah.
She had
2.5
hair that you
weeks
could
like
put
that.
pigtails in as
And
a
arm
newborn.
hair. Yeah, that my sister
hair.
shaved
You were just,
when
you
I
were
was
just
in
too
third.
long. She did?
Yeah, she goes, I'm sick and tired of you looking like a monkey. So she took my mom's razor and she shaved my arms. And my
How old
mom,
were you?
Probably 5.
Oh,
do you
5.
have hairy arms now?
No.
No, thank God. And my mom
I think
was
it's
like,
because she shaved them early.
I don't know, but Catherine
I'm
got
thinking- I'm thinking that's it. I mean, so
Sisters.
I remember that like it was yesterday too. Back in the day when you bathed
Yeah.
with each other, like in your parents' bathroom,
No,
and
no,
they were
no.
watching you. No,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you bathe with your
yeah.
parents?
I love
or did you
these
bathe
stories.
with your sibling?
no, with my
Remember
sister.
when your mom
Yeah, I
made
think
your
my
lunch?
brother and
You
I
had
know.
to take a bath
No.
with
Oh,
one
oh,
sibling.
you don't. Oh,
I
yeah.
think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took a bath
But I
with
mean,
one
not at
sibling,
16,
and then you
that would
changed
be a
the
little
water,
awkward.
and then the other two get in.
Yeah,
and
she
then
walked
you
away
change
for a
the
hot
water.
That's
second,
right.
and my
Yeah.
sister shaved my arms. She was
Wow.
like, "You are like a monkey. I'm gonna shave those arms," and I was like, "Okay." I don't
Wow.
know. I
And
was
she's,
like 5.
she's 3 years older, right? So she really
Yeah.
noticed it. Yeah.
2.5, yeah.
She was probably shaving her legs.
Yeah.
By the
I
time.
didn't like shaving her legs, but she
No,
was
but I
nuts.
can remember-
I had big black hair on my arms growing
Black
up.
hair?
Little when I was
Oh,
little.
oh.
Yeah, like I remember it.
That's so funny.
That is
I mean, I do remember pictures of you. But
look
anyway,
like
so
a monkey.
when you got picked, kind of go over that with us. That's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
back to the
that was
It
so
was,
exciting.
it was incredible. I mean, it was, we were told, this is going to be a big old wait, and I was like, sweating, and I just turned in. There's a whole,
But do
What
you
do
have to, you have
turn
to have
in?
a job?
Like, what do you have to turn in?
show
Oh my
something?
God! You have to have
show
like
a scrap
two
turn
or
on
It's almost
three
like a
clergy
scrap.
members write letters. Like you have to have people that are your friends, people that are your bosses,
Yeah.
parents, friends,
And then they go talk
clergy.
to 'em?
Yeah, and then they like round table and say if they will
Wow.
accept you as an adoptive parent.
I'm kind of shocked you got picked too. It's crazy.
Maybe her scrapbook was really good.
You must have had good pictures in that scrapbook.
I did.
You know, I'm sure did you have someone else do the calligraphy or how'd that work
Yes,
out?
I did.
So
one of my
intern
friends,
at TCU.
one of my friends that worked. You remember back in the '90s? It was all
Oh,
that.
gosh.
The what was it called? Were you scrapbooking?
Scrapbooking.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I can't even draw a stick figure. So, and you had to put this damn book together. And I was like, oh, this is like my worst nightmare, besides math. And so my friend that I was really good friends with, she was like, oh my God, I love it. I have all the scissors, all the all the trim on the paper.
Yeah, I have
And
ribbon.
She was like,
She had
ribbon.
the trim for the paper.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, I will pay you to do this. And of course, this
And
is
she
all
just
like,
loved it. And look what
loved
happened.
it.
Her scrapbook got
Yes.
you your baby.
Yes, and we literally debated because we were
I think
so
that's bizarre,
young.
though.
It is
I
very,
think
We
it's very
debated
interesting.
about putting pictures with beer, us holding beers in the lake.
Well, I think it's bizarre that you're going to pick a parent over a scrapbook.
And the right, I think there's like little, it is very strange. But
It
how
sounds
else would
very
you do it?
old-fashioned.
Like
But
how
that's
else
how
would you do it
get to know them.
without
Yeah.
meeting
It's
them?
not any different today, y'all.
But it's like a school assignment.
Correct.
And it's like,
Now you'd give a presentation.
yeah.
Really?
No, I have
I
no
guess you
idea.
have to get
No,
it.
and you have a phone, but you
Yeah.
have to show the book. And you say, "Hey, Jackie,
Yeah.
does this person interest you?"
Yeah.
Yes. Then I will call you.
Okay.
So do they show it to
and
the,
then there's
to
some
the mother?
strange
Yes,
things.
they show it all. They show our books. There's 176 books
Oh, wow.
to choose from.
So did you have a helper that was young?
That did the book. Mm-hmm. No, she was actually a year older than me.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I just was
And she
curious.
was like, "Oh my God, this is so fun."
I
was
love
like,
scrapbooking. Yeah.
Ugh.
I have
You
my
do?
own- No, I'm
Oh,
saying.
God.
like,
I'm
I have
horrible.
my own glue gun.
Horrible.
I mean, even my baby books. How many people?
I-
How many
Finished-
people
have finished
finished
baby
the baby books?
I'm going to be the first to say I did not finish them.
I
No.
did not finish the baby books.
I mean,
I
I
finished.
started.
I didn't
I was
finish.
writing. I was doing all this great stuff, putting the weight in, and then
I
it's
started
just
with
like,
Malcolm, and then I was like,
I'm the
no,
same
from
way.
That, you know,
I have
Poor
nothing
Wyatt.
completed.
Poor Wyatt.
No, my
Because Elliot's
dad
was like pretty good.
yeah.
My dad has a better scrapbook of Savannah. My dad has a full-on scrapbook of pictures from 1945 all the way until 3 years before they moved into, or no, 3 years after they moved into assisted living.
Oh, wow.
Literally.
He kept up with that every Friday night. Sat down, had him a cocktail, and scrapbooked.
Literally. And the books are
You're
thick.
not kidding.
That's
No,
amazing.
Savannah's whole
My
bedroom
dad was
right now
not.
is turned
My dad was
into
not
art.
artsy. Is not artsy at all.
Oh, mine either. Well, Dad
yours
was.
is.
I'm
Yours
not.
was
Catherine is.
advertising.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yours was too.
marketing.
Yours is marketing and advertising. Yeah, that's right.
That's
my
fine.
mom kept more of a file. It wasn't really
You're-
like a
you're-
scrapbook.
You think
It
you're
was-
like
That's my
no,
mom.
it
That's
was,
me.
It was when I graduated high school. I got a binder this thick
No
of
kidding.
every report card,
Yep.
every
Oh,
runaway
that's
note I ever
That's
wrote.
kinda cool.
I think it was like, here you go. Like, I mean,
report cards. I mean, like I think I kept
every
with them
note
for a
from
while.
a teacher.
I didn't want to see.
behavior.
The
And then
dog ate my
I don't
report
care
card.
anything about.
I got it all.
Seeing my kids' report cards, and I don't think they do.
No.
I didn't say that. I think it was all online anyway.
Lucky-
I think
that-
it was all
right?
online.
And-
No,
Yeah.
we
Not
had
for
them when they
me.
were in lower school.
Maybe
Then
lower.
Like, yeah,
No.
and then it's.
But
I don't have any of that stuff.
yeah,
Poor
so
Savannah.
Did
so
you get your birth announcement in the?
I did
in the
that. My
church
dad did
paper,
that.
I did birth
all of that?
announcements. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Oddly,
I got
my
those.
mom did keep track of all that for all 5 of us, but you know, it was like presented to you in this like very unremarkable blue binder. It seemed very
You
corporate.
had a binder.
Do you still
yeah,
have it?
now it burned in a fire. Yeah, so it's
That's right. It did
Oh.
burn in your house fire, or something.
Dang. What about your siblings?
well, my twin brother's was stolen out of his car.
Oh my gosh! See, they all got their binders.
Yeah, we got our binders, and he was.
Did they have your social security and birth certificate and all of that?
Oddly, my dad has had my original birth certificate, and he just told me this year. He's like, oh, I think what's your original birth
my mom has
certificate?
my original.
No,
You're like, you know, I
Still.
my
needed that
mom,
like 20
I have
years
needed
ago.
it so many times.
Yeah.
And my mom has always been like, all I have is like a certified copy and go to the thing. It was like, go to the hospital.
And
It's
every time you have to go.
just- yeah. It was like,
Yeah.
Dad.
And my mom
Yeah.
will not.
Wait, imagine that it was the man. Sorry.
yeah. And
He had it. He had all the
Yeah,
kids.
he's 90 and just gave it to me.
So you have it.
I now have it.
But
Okay,
don't lose it.
But if you do,
I'm just gonna put it with all my certified copies.
I mean,
of
you'll
my
get the
other
certified.
ones.
They'll put you a new. What are your footprints on there, like mine are?
Yeah,
And isn't that cute?
we were little, so I have a twin brother, and we were little.
What y'all wear?
God, I always
Yeah,
wanted a
we
twin
we were
brother.
well, actually, for
I had
for
one.
twins, we were big.
Yeah.
I was 6, and he was like 5.
That's big.
That is
Yeah.
big. We were number 4 and 5.
That's like March
Yeah.
coming out of the chute.
Yeah, that's like
By
kind
myself.
of normal today.
Yeah.
They thought Jeff was like, my twin was like a little preemie-ish, so he was kind of, put under a heat lamp for a couple days.
But you weren't. You
Yeah.
were like, I took it all.
I got it.
yeah.
I got
I
it.
took
Well,
all
the weird
energy.
thing, this is like late 60s, so my most fun thing to bring to show and tell was the X-ray of us in the
X-ray,
womb.
wow.
That's so
You had
cute.
an X-ray? I don't know.
Yeah,
My mom. I don't think my mom
that's
did.
really allowed. Yeah.
No,
My mom-
that's not now.
Yeah.
My
no.
mom was not somebody that like kept like the X-ray, or if it cost more, they probably didn't do it.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
it just
Dad
is not.
did.
No.
That's just
All
stuff my
that
parents
stuff.
just didn't feel.
Well, because your dad's a
because-
doctor.
yeah.
No,
Right.
no, my dad is not. He's an investment guy.
Oh, I thought your dad
It
was
would be
a
way
doctor.
No,
better
so for
if he
him,
were
it's
a
like
doctor.
my mom
Why
is
did I
so
think your dad
organized,
was a-
but she was not gonna keep. She probably didn't pay for the X-ray.
Well, so
I'm
Probably lost
assuming.
it. In
Well,
so-
she got pregnant.
She
in-
probably lost it on the tube going from.
She got pregnant in Taiwan,
Yeah, exactly. Going to.
so they probably didn't have X-ray
Taiwan to the-
machines.
yeah,
Y'all think?
exactly, to London.
Well, the only reason we had an X-ray was because we, like I said,
You're twins.
this was her 4th pregnancy, and she was like, I just feel like there's 2. I feel like there's 2 in there.
Oh, wow.
And
there
then they were like,
were.
let's check. Yeah. Because she had my brothers, and she was like,
That
3
tracks.
boys, and she was like, I really want a girl, really want a girl. And then got me and my twin brother. So she
Another-
got a girl, but
cute.
she got another boy.
Oh.
So there were no bath. It was no, like the whole bathtub
Yeah,
thing.
you're
right,
Just-
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I was
No,
just
but
all
She's
on
like
my
just
own.
spraying y'all down with a hose.
No, well, you just
Let's
weren't
spray-
sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't sharing anything
Did
with
y'all
your
share
brothers.
clothes
Sharing clothes, I call them hand-me-downs.
with your brother?
Oh yeah, I wore all their hand-me-downs.
You wore all theirs, so you kind of dress like a boy.
That's kind of why I dress. That's kind of why I dress.
You mean-
kind of the way I am, because I always had great Levi's and great
Yeah.
flannel.
No, I
That's
mean,
yeah.
I would take
Yeah.
my dad's shirts. He had great flannel shirts when those
Right.
were in,
No, I
and I'd
didn't-
wear his flannel
See, my
shirts.
dad had all like pressed.
My dad's
No.
were pressed.
Well, I didn't take any of it. My dad never wore flannel.
Oh,
No,
wow.
my dad wore suits every single
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
but on the weekends he would have like cool flannel shirts and plaid shirts, and I'd steal them. Jean shirts, corduroy.
Yes, my dad. Well, this is Chicago, so my dad had this one denim shirt. And he'd wear like
My dad wore all that
the
on the
jeans
weekends.
with the denim, and then he was mistaken for like a maintenance man in the elevator of his building, and so he never wore that again. But he like creased the jeans. This is Chicago, and
Yeah.
he would send his jeans to the cleaners, and they'd have a crease.
Well, a lot of Texas boys do that.
Well, I
Yeah,
know
and
why.
they're like
I know
so-
why they do that, but
They're
that's
so
not why.
stiff, they stand up.
Yeah,
I don't like jeans like that, by the way.
I don't either.
yeah.
Who does?
I don't like how
Well,
they
there's a
feel.
whole reason why they do that.
Why?
Well, I think when you overstarch it, it kind of like actually protects your legs from all the riding you're doing.
Oh.
There's like a very
Oh,
there's
it's
a
a real
reason.
technical reason
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
they have
know
to be
that.
long.
I thought it was a look.
Well, it is,
Is
a.
there? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I can do a quick Google search.
I don't
I'm
care
pretty
what
sure
you do, but
that's-
just make sure that it's correct. Because if you're going to say something on my
know, I
pod,
like to be-
it
Make
better
sure
be
it's
correct.
I like to be correct. Well, you could go on to the
Laura,
next
you had
question.
3
I'll look.
children, right?
3.
And you had a boy first.
Boy, girl, boy.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
How old were y'all when you had kids?
The first one,
30.
I was 23, almost 24.
Okay.
The second one, 33, almost
Oh,
34.
Yeah.
that's
So
like
they're
having
like-
2 families.
Yeah, basically. But it was a lot because I can remember thinking, one's playing all the sports and the baby's just eating dirt. I'm looking at everything.
Oh my God, he was a little mud
It
pile.
was just like
Yeah.
horrible. Get in the
Yeah.
back of the car.
Yeah,
I mean, just
so
poor Wyatt.
stinky.
But
That's why he and
Elliot,
Savannah were
he
so
played
different.
every sport, so it was like, I got to go to another sporting
Yeah.
event. Yeah, it was.
He played Baseball?
Who?
Wyatt.
I said
Who's
Elliot
that?
played every sport. So Wyatt grew up at the baseball park, the
Yeah.
basketball.
Right.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
the age gap, it's like
Everybody but the first
you've got
kid.
10-year-olds in the car and then a baby.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
was like.
But I had 3 by the time I was 26. I got married when I was 18. I had my first one when I was 20.
18? Oh, so you were really young.
Stop it.
I thought I was pretty young, right out of
Jesus,
college.
so
but
did I.
I met my ex-husband when he was in medical school. So I had graduated high school when I was 16. Got a job to stay out of
Smarty.
had to
Little
I had to
smarty.
get a job to stay out of school.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
That makes
that
sense.
counted as
What did that-
that
Right,
counted
like-
as my attendance
Yeah.
because the state got
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And so
Oh.
yeah, and I had to give a report on my job. Anyway, I met my husband at medical school. When he was in medical school, I was working at the hospital.
You were a nurse.
Well,
Candy
what was your
striper.
job?
Candy
I was
stripper.
running
You're
the
not a nurse.
dismissal office, and I was
Was she-
going to KU for my, English, all of that
Just
stuff.
undergrad.
studies,
general
yeah.
studies, and then I finished nursing school here.
Oh,
Nice.
you did. Later in life,
Yeah, this is 31 when I graduated.
after you graduate, like your
I
kids.
had-
Yeah, that's when I had my first child, 31.
31?
Yeah, 31, 32, and 34.
So you weren't old.
No.
You were in your 30s.
But
yeah.
my daughter's pregnant right now, and she's 40.
Good for her.
For her with her first
That's
Yeah.
okay. I have
And
a best
only,
friend
right?
like
and
that.
only. Yes,
Yeah.
her first
I-
and only.
Literally have
She might have
my
another one
best
in her
friend is like
40s.
that.
I don't know. I mean, dude, this is just such a shock. It's like surprise.
Really?
Literally, yeah.
Did they want it?
Well, they.
You always want them.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going
You
to
don't
say?
know
they
what you
said
don't know.
you're not going to get pregnant, and she's like,
Oh,
okay.
they did.
Oh,
They
they-
did. Told
they
her.
told her that,
And
yeah.
and she's like, okay, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
So she kind of just thought she couldn't get
ta-da,
pregnant.
yeah.
Yeah, I was the
I
only.
know.
other-
Is that not
Yeah.
Which kind of who said that?
Her
Just
OB.
said I
doctors.
just
Her-
said she had
her
some sort of
GYN.
okay.
Well, she didn't have enough
Endometriosis?
eggs. She said no. She didn't even have endometriosis. She said your egg count's really low, and chances are you will never get pregnant. And
Did
she
her
didn't
husband ever
freeze-
get?
Yeah, he
tested?
has a child.
Oh.
He has a child. So there's a
you know,
7-year-old,
the
and then they're going to have a newborn.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That'll
And
be
it's
real
a girl.
cool, and they'll be real close.
Oh,
yeah,
that'll be so
that's
fun.
real
But
cool.
it's a girl.
You are.
Oh, well, because
Yes.
You'd rather
Well-
her have a granddaughter than grandson.
I like girls. I like to dress them.
So
But-
you like girls better than boys.
I don't, but I'm not going to fall for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice try, sister.
Nice
But
try.
when they're
You like your
babies, they're
daughter
like
better.
dolls.
No, it's different.
I think it's
being-
interesting people that do.
It's different
say
being a girl
Yeah.
mom
Oh, God
than
bless.
a boy mom when they're
1,000%.
pregnant. When do you have any of yours? Are they
No.
married?
No,
yet?
no.
Or- so when my son had his 2 kids, I literally didn't. I mean, you're kind of put to the side because the other grandmother has.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The deal.
It's like a wedding.
It
I
If you're a
think that-
groom or
it
a bride.
It
right.
is.
I think that depends, though, right? Does she live near them? Mm-hmm. That's
She
a lot
lives
of
in
it.
Burleson.
Oh, okay.
They live in Keene.
Well, yeah, but you see them a lot. I see pictures of your grandchildren.
Well, I see them every Sunday. We have Sunday Fun Day every week because
Right.
I want to see those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's different when you have like that. Let's talk about that because I think I only have boys, but I do feel that mothers of girls are
Can y'all see
pulled
Kelly as a girl mom?
and just
No.
Wait,
because it's so funny because there's a saying that says you have
Me
a girl
either.
to learn about power, and you have a boy to learn about you have a girl to learn about strength. Which I don't need that, and you have a boy to learn about love.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting if you have both.
As
What
a
I
mom?
think, what you have to learn, like what you're having to,
Right.
learn
You have
here.
to
That's
work
kind of a
on?
Chinese,
Yeah.
but you have both, so.
Well, I got a lot of work
need
to do.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing okay, Jack. Okay.
Right, yeah.
But I laugh because that kind of makes sense on the strength for me. But I'm very close to my mom, so we never really had struggle, and I think. And she's still alive. So I think there's something to be said about that.
Love me
But
some Judy Jude.
a mother and a daughter, you're right. They bring their baby over and they do more like that. I also think that there's something to be said about like, I love that, but I also like to have my space. So I know that about myself.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want a girl, ringing
Up
the
in your
doorbell
grill.
all the time, bringing the baby over. Can you do this? Can you drop the baby? I would love my granddaughter. I will adore them. I will think they are it.
Yeah.
But to just not respect my time would be a problem for me, because I'm a big boundary person.
Time
I mean,
is-
Margaret knows. I
yeah.
mean, she's been saying it. Yeah, that would not fly with Kelly. If there was an emergency, you're coming over, yes. But just
No,
the
it
all
wouldn't
or-
fly if you had given birth to a girl.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you
with
Do you
just
think I would have
So-
put the boundary up with a girl?
both of your, in my opinion, both of your boys are good boys. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They both know from a very, because I've known God Elliot for ever. How old is he?
33.
Jeez Louise. Okay, so like
Is that your oldest?
Yeah.
so like since he was like
Say
13,
5? Oh, 13, okay.
And how old is your
really
oldest?
well.
23.
I mean, but they are. They're not up in your grill. What using your makeup, using your
No, and they're
products,
very,
using-
and we're close.
right.
And
Exactly.
but they're very different too. It's like
Right.
there's things about each one that like, yeah, I mean it's just different. But
they're different.
the girl, I don't know if I just didn't need it. I had a lot of girl cousins. I have a lot, and plenty of girlfriends, and maybe I don't have
and you can
20
turn it
groups
off.
like Margaret. But I prefer that.
Yeah,
She
you can
knows.
turn it off.
And I can turn up, but I feel like the girl moms that live near their girls, it's a constant in the back door. Wonderful if you love that. Right?
Yeah. Well,
But your daughter doesn't live here.
Keely's in Charleston now.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that
I
you
love
won't
Keely.
you won't get
I
that.
know.
Oh, one of my high school best friends' name is Keely.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's not that many Keelys.
There's not.
No?
There's really not.
No.
It's like somebody trying to say Kelly, but they couldn't do it.
They, in lieu of an L, they put an E in
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
Keely. I like it. It's
Keely.
cute.
Yeah, it's Irish. I
Yeah.
named all my kids Irish names
Oh.
because
Yeah.
I'm a redhead.
Are there any Mary Margarets in
You're
the
not a
group?
proud redhead.
No, but she's trying to think of a double name.
I was
Mary
Mary Kelly.
Margaret.
I'm Mary Kelly,
You are?
but I'm Catholic, so yes.
There you
We're
go.
both
And it was my
Marys.
grandmother's name. We're both Marys. I was going to be Molly, but then my mom
Yours
liked Kelly.
Aunt took it.
My aunt took it after me, but yeah.
And you're
but
Mary
she had
Margaret?
I'm Mary Margaret. Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Is your daughter going to do two
That's
names?
very- yeah.
She.
I'm Mary
she
Margaret
is.
McDermott. Dar.
What are her two names going to be?
I don't know. I gave her a deadline of last Friday to come up with a name, and she didn't do it. So
But you think
I'm not in charge.
she doesn't
Yeah.
live, she doesn't live near you?
He's
so you
trying
can't
to give her a
say.
deadline.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that part?
I know. I'm like you. Your assignment is not complete, and you're late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see.
exactly.
You
If
can
you're
do that to
getting
a
an F,
girl. You can't do that to boys, but I do that
No.
to my boys all the time. I'm already asking them what they're going to name their kids. I'm telling them what to name their kids. I mean, so it's the same
Yeah.
as having a girl.
Yeah.
That part of it,
But there is a very
They indulge
nice
you.
closeness with boys
and their mother.
and moms. I will say
It is
I
a
mean,
gentle. It is
some of
no,
it can be freaky.
but not.
well, not that way.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, what the
Literally.
the ones that are still nursing? Yeah. it's a little-
Oh no!
You're-
baby
you're
Jesus.
Oh, are you
25?
talking about Game of Thrones?
Yeah, she
No.
must be.
I'm like the one person in
You know
America
what? I
who's
haven't
never watched that show.
Me neither.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
this.
Do they
scene.
nurse on their?
No, I
lawn?
haven't watched
None of
it
y'all
either.
watched
You
it.
It's
either?
just
No.
like,
Yeah, the
oh, let me
10-year-old.
wipe your ass. I know you're 27 and all.
No, the
I mean, like,
10-year-old
good
is
God.
Yeah, there's
nursing
some mothers that are really
on the
weird about their
show.
sons. She's right.
Yeah, no, I'm not one of those weird
not a
moms.
I'm not either.
I'm like, I'm not gonna get in his business. I'm just gonna.
But there's a bond.
Yes.
It's someone said it's
Yeah.
something, and I have my guys on the fourth wall over there shaking their head. Yes, they even if they're angry at their mom, it's
Yeah,
like
totally.
their mom
I
could be
see
the
that.
worst mom in town, and
Yeah.
you don't talk about their mom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I do.
know.
Yeah.
I got 3 nephews. But my sister was like, when they're like 1 and 6 months, she had them toot. And she was like, oh, I will be that mom who's going through their drawers and looking for the girlfriends and all the
I was not.
paraphernalia
I
and
did
da
not
da
do
da.
that.
And I was like, oh my God, calm down.
No, I didn't.
I didn't ever.
she
do
was
that.
like-
But
never
you
have
know-
looked through doors and done that.
I will
Never.
tell you, with Keely, I did take her door off the hinges.
Oh my God, I love that.
I've
Because
done
girls
that
are
before.
girls are hard.
I have
my
a couple
son.
friends who have done that.
I took her, she would come home from softball or
Right.
volleyball, and she would go up the steps and she would slam the door
Yeah.
and not even speak. And so I would go to the door and I would say, if you keep not speaking,
Right.
and then she would get on the phone, back then, the phone line.
Yeah.
That's what I did all
The
day.
landline.
And she was talking to this guy. She was like 14, and she was talking to an
14.
18
Ugh.
or 19-year-old.
Yeah, 14's the worst.
And so I just took the door
Good for you.
off.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do these
Yeah.
drastic.
How did that go
worst,
down?
What's been the worst
It
thing,
didn't go
Jackie,
down
that's
real
like
well.
embarrassed you with one of your kids? Like, can you think of
Can
it?
you imagine
Yeah.
a hormonal teenage girl?
Almost
No.
killed you?
That embarrassing.
It was so embarrassing. You were like, yeah, I saw this little girl yesterday at Rivercrest. I don't even know why I'm mentioning this, but Stephen and I were driving by, and her legs were full spread out, throwing a fit, like in the air.
How old?
Oh, 7 or 8, and you knew her mother
Oh.
just wanted to grab her. She's on the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
Her legs are in the air, panties showing, kids' legs kicking. Too old to be doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she was a bigger girl,
Yeah.
like doing it. And I knew the mom, I was thinking, the whole time I was thinking that mom's getting ready to pop her leg or do something. And she didn't. But I thought,
Well-
okay. But I thought, her underwear's full throttle, like
Yeah.
legs in the air.
Yeah.
Too old to be having your legs sex. Maybe she's a little older.
See, I
'Cause-
automatically go to, she probably has a behavioral issue. No?
I think we automatically do that, which
I would have
creates,
grabbed mine like a turkey.
Yeah, but it creates a problem.
Well, yeah, yeah.
when all we ever do is say, oh, you've got anxiety. When you start putting names on everything, that's what I think is making our children
Have y'all heard?
weak. I mean, they're
Let me ask you a
they're
question.
just weak.
Have y'all heard lately about all the nutrition and all the food and all the things and all
Oh
the
my gosh,
diseases
don't
and
get me
everything?
started.
Hold on, let me just ask you one question. Have you
She's
heard
like, "Please don't get her
anybody
started."
say
Should be a 3-hour
we
podcast.
know we need to go back to what our grandparents' diet
Yes.
was? It's the same thing with parenting. We're like, oh my god, we need
yeah.
to talk about our feelings. Go back to grandparents' diet. Because remember what I was doing when I was waiting for Savannah.
Did you tell the girl that you took her baby from her, that you
No,
were going to
no,
be this
I was
aggressive?
like, no.
She might
Was
not
that
have
in the
picked
scrapbook?
you.
Was diet in the
Yeah,
scrapbook?
yeah. It's like,
Was there conflict
It's like,
How about
resolution?
them
what
yelling
did
at
your
you?
parents? How did your parents
Getting
get
really
reared?
triggered right now.
How were you reared?
We were
I
we
got
were whipped with a switch or
Thank-
a belt.
Don't.
correct. I had to go pick up my own switch.
From the willow tree. They would, and I would
yes.
have whelps on my legs.
Yes.
They would call it child abuse today. Probably.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
But-
It's like everybody is like pansy, like barely touching the kids.
It's called. Can I
Don't
tell
do
you
it.
what? I looked it up. See, I did a little research today because I thought, well, I'm going to get some good. We're going to have some good words here. It's called gentle parenting.
It's
Oh.
ridiculous.
Sounds like you're.
Oh,
against
just wait,
it.
y'all.
I am.
Okay. So why
Just
can't
wait
you
till
just
you
go
have
and
grandkids.
rationalize with this child? I'm kind of kidding. I didn't really have to
Rationalize
spank
with
my
a child?
kids. I mean, maybe twice I spanked
Oh,
my
yeah.
kids. Each
Yep.
one
Right.
maybe
Exactly.
once.
I didn't have to do it very
I mean, I think
often.
my voice got it, but this gentle.
They don't even do
Oh,
it.
the other thing I got to ask y'all about gentle parenting. Do you
gotta talk about
understand
our
what it
feelings.
is?
I do because I
I
have
think so.
children.
Yeah.
So
'Cause-
tell me what it means.
Well, it's all about, well, we say this.
Yes, that's right. You're right. I looked it up.
We say this instead of this. And I'm like, you don't say, oh, that's so good. You go, good job.
And there are no winners.
And they're, yeah.
Everybody's
good job.
a winner.
So everything,
True
you
that.
Yeah, there are winners.
you go to the potty, it's like, oh,
Everyone.
you don't say good girl, good boy.
Oh, God bless.
Because then that means that if they do something else that is bad. So if they do something that's, an accomplishment, you go, good job. Oh, I've been trained.
Let me ask you a question about expectations. I heard this parent say, we don't put expectations on our child. What I'm feeling like, if you don't, I did. And so,
Oh, I did too.
Good parent
Yeah.
or bad parent, you
Yeah.
call me whatever you want. I
Yeah,
don't
for
really
we were in the
care.
middle. We were like right before, like us, our generation was like the last of the stop, drop, wrong, right, yes, no.
I know with my,
I mean, Gen X.
Nah, I don't know. My kids,
My kid,
I
I
might
mean,
be a
I
little
was
older
very.
than you, but Gen
I'm
X,
like-
we raised ourselves. I mean, well,
Yeah, I mean, my parents, I
Turnkey
was outside
kids.
all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I was not a
Yeah.
turnkey kid, but I
No,
was
I was.
definitely outside till 8 or 9.
Yeah.
You know,
Why
maybe
would you
like
come
8
home?
or 9
Came on.
hours.
Yeah.
But I this whole expectation where I don't put expectations on my kids, well, I think what the problem with that is, personally, and I don't know why we've gotten into this, but we have. I think
Somehow we're here.
Somehow we're here.
Yeah.
But I think that when you don't put expectations on them, then they have no goals. They have no idea where to start, how to think
Work
through
ethic.
something,
Yeah.
and it's bad. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I tell my kids, you lose tonight, you're grounded. You're not going out there to be losers on the football field.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, so
you
is
would
that
ground
aggressive?
them for
Is that
losing?
Is that aggressive?
They're only one
That
of
is
the team.
Is that aggressive?
Yes.
Hold on.
I'm like,
You would ground your
I mean, are they
children
playing
for
tennis?
losing?
I told you I put
Okay,
expectations
yeah,
on
I'm not-
Gymnastics?
Margaret.
No.
I'm
Holy
kidding.
crap! Oh
I'm
my God.
I'm kidding.
I think
Oh
we're
my
not
God.
kidding.
I don't
No,
think
we're not.
he's
But
like
we
laughing
are,
at
we are
his shark.
kidding. I did not put those kind of expectations for sure.
Well, I think there's expectations, and then there's rules, like arbitrary rules, and then there's expectations.
Nobody can even
So-
say rules anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
it's
I
like
had a lot of rules.
ridiculous.
But I had a lot of rules that like didn't make sense. So
Like,
it
what
was-
were your rules that were just kind of off the? I'd like to hear them.
All right. So it's Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I could not leave the house until my chores were done, which I think is
You
like,
or your children.
I'm talking about when I was a kid.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
For the weekend?
Yeah.
Right.
So it was like, but every day I couldn't leave. It was like bed made. Like, so that was like, I appreciated that, like, okay, that's like, keep the
Learning.
house tidy and all
5
that.
kids.
Yeah, 5 kids. She's trying to keep the house from being burnt to the ground. Probably.
Correct.
4
Yeah.
brothers. But then, and then it was like, you can pick one night on the weekend to go out.
Oh, no.
That's really hard for like a young girl to be like, well, I don't really know what everybody's doing this weekend
Right.
yet, so I'm gonna
Even
take
though
a
we have a
gamble
landline.
that like,
Yeah.
if I pick Friday night and it's a dud, I'm kind of fucked because
Yeah, you're
I
screwed.
then I gotta be
Yeah,
home
you already
Saturday
used your
night.
night.
Nobody's
I
doing
use my
anything.
night, and then
When do
everyone's
you have
getting
to give her
together.
that night? When do you have to tell her what night you're
Oh,
going?
yeah.
Friday.
Okay, so you
Oh.
kind of know what's going on for the weekend.
I mean,
What
not
about your-
really.
Not
I mean,
really.
So you had 5 kids, and everybody might have a night they picked differently. So she was just planning
Honestly,
to be up all
I
weekend.
do not know if
I wouldn't do that.
I do not know if this applied to
The guys.
the guys. I think everything gets,
Convoluted, yeah.
we're
Yeah, that's-
Well,
differentiating
you were the
between.
only girl.
And I was the only girl, and I was the youngest, and like, I mean, my twin
Yeah.
wasn't really there, and so, there's like a whole nother story with that. But,
That's hard.
yeah, so
Yeah,
you're
that's-
like,
that's
and all my other brothers were gone. I mean, the only brother that was still there, like, we're talking about high school, I was a sophomore and he was a senior.
Right.
And he was the worst influence. And
Was he?
Like, oh, yeah. Yeah. So I think
he
she was
fun, brother.
super fun. I
Yeah.
think I think probably she was just,
She's stricter on you.
she was.
Do you
strict
treat?
on me.
Do you two? Because Margaret and I obviously, it's a little different. I mean, do you treat boy girl different? I mean,
So, yeah, I mean, I can't.
I
did.
I have to admit it, I did. Did
Yeah.
you?
How
Well,
so?
middle
Yeah,
one,
I'd
I
love to
really
know.
didn't. Veronica didn't count because she's in the, she has her
Right.
issues. So, I think I was always just kind of like, just tell me where you are, let me know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had a curfew, but I would say for Malcolm and Evelyn, I mean, they might argue with this, but I sort of feel like I treated them the same. Maybe a little more lenient.
What years
with Malcolm.
were they born?
2001, 2002, and 2005.
Okay.
Yeah. But so maybe with Evelyn a little bit more, like I wouldn't let her get in an Uber or, like
Right,
Malcolm
yeah.
was
Yeah.
a little,
Yeah.
he was like black belt karate. Like I wasn't really worried about like
Right,
funky
yeah,
happening
totally.
with him. But yeah, so I mean not wildly different,
Yeah.
but
my dad always said,
I agree with you.
kids are
Yeah.
kids are different.
They
and
are.
you treat them differently.
They are different.
yeah.
He said
Yeah.
some need other things
Yeah.
that others don't need, and you can't compare the two.
Yeah, they, a lot of I've heard this saying where everyone's like,
And
"We
that's
all grew up in
hard.
the same house, and we're all
In
like
a
different."
household, correct,
But
yeah.
who's that? I can't remember his name, but he'll say it's how you did grow up with different parents.
You did.
because
Yes.
it's
You
how
did.
that parent showed up for you. That was different,
You can have 5 kids
Very
in a
much
house.
so.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mother
very much so. Yeah.
and father each kid is going to see their
Yeah.
childhood very differently.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So like
It's true.
my oldest
Very true.
brothers
I don't care
were
how close
much
they
more
are.
older than me. I mean, so they were already had jobs and they were like really smart and they were just like these good boys, and then my middle, well, he's the middle, but he was 2 years older than me and he was like the wild child. So it was like, okay.
The bad influence.
He was the bad influence.
Okay.
Do you think he
Bad
got
boy.
forgotten, like in a
'Cause
mix?
he's in the middle?
Yeah. Do you think it's a middle
Well,
kid
it's
syndrome
pretty
kind
hard
of
to
thing?
forget him. He made sure that he was like
Really?
unforgettable
All the time,
Yeah,
from
just
start to
all the
finish?
time. Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like the more kids you have, because you came from such a lot of children in the
Yeah.
family, do you feel like that someone, you can have too many, that it's going to be neglected? Or do you
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that
Oh, God.
you become closer
I
because
think
of it?
that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So it's
Yeah.
like the kid who's got like all the drama, all the oh my god, we gotta like deal
All
with
the
you.
attention.
Yeah, and then like you're the youngest and you're like the good one because you're not, you're not causing problems.
Right.
Everyone's like, oh well, you're
You're fine. So they kinda ignored you.
right?
Yeah.
So
Where you
I
felt ignored.
right. So I'm much more cognizant of that, like with my kids, where so it's like I always worry about the kid who's fine.
Yeah.
I'm always like
I've
that's-
always said that. I've
yeah.
always said the kid that's
the
quiet.
kid who's fine
even.
and
The quiet
quiet,
one, yeah.
yeah, and isn't a behavior, it's
Issue.
just-
Yeah.
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 You have to kind of be
I
a
think that's
little concerned.
generational. I mean, my dad was old, and he was the baby of 4, but he was the surprise baby of 4. So, like his oldest sister, and they were farmers in a small rural town, but he was the one who got away with murder because the sister was the oldest, 2 brothers. When they were like milking cows and stuff, the brothers would sit there and squirt him and blah, 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 but the sister did everything for him. I mean, it was like she was. So my
Kind of the
grandmother.
mother.
Yeah, and so my
Basically
grandmother
was the mother.
Yeah, and so
That's
my
right.
grandmother was around, knock on wood, until I was a junior in college at 101, and she was like, and we'd sit there and ask questions, and how
101?
100. She was just too much shy of being 101, and we were like, Monty, like, what was he like as a baby, and da da da, and she was like, oh, he was sneaky, and we were like, was he sneaky or was he just a baby and like you didn't know because you were dealing with all the things? And his brothers were like, he wasn't sneaky. I mean, we told on him as much as we could to get our own selves out of trouble, and I don't know, I feel like that's like kind of like still the same way as today. It's like the baby, if you're quiet and sneaky, then you're gonna be the one that you should pay attention to.
Should.
Yeah.
What's something you said you'd never do, but you did?
As a parent,
Oh.
Can you think of anything?
because I said so.
You said you'd never say that.
Yes, because
Your
my
mom
mom
said
said
it?
it all the time.
Yeah.
Jesus,
My
and then you
mom
just
would
run out
say
of crap.
no before she would say yes. So, like, if I walked in and I said, "Can I spend the night with so and so?" she'd say no. Then she'd think about it, and then she'd come and say. And when I made her aware that she was doing it, she was like, "Well, I don't."
What if
I don't
you went to
really,
your dad first?
I didn't always went to her.
You
Never.
always went to your
I
mom.
never asked my mom whether I was going to spend the night. And my dad was, because he'd be like, "Okay."
Go ask your mom.
See, typically that's
Yeah.
I like that about Judy, because typically that's a
No.
parent. Yeah, like if I
don't
went to
think
my
men,
mom.
I don't think men though deal with the kid asking. I mean, I think you get the
Okay.
permission from the mom, right?
I
mean-
always asked my mom. I didn't ask
I mean,
my
didn't
dad.
your kids ask you?
Yeah.
Didn't your
Well,
kids ask
their
you?
dad wasn't home. He was at the
Yeah,
my
my
dad was always
my
working.
family
He
was
was at work,
different.
so
My
he was at
family
the
was
clinic.
different.
Yeah, because I would go right to my mom and say, "Can I spend the night Friday night with so-and-so?" Nope, no. And then I'd be like, seriously, Mom? You say that every. And then when I made her aware of it, she started working on it. But I think her instinct was just sort of like.
So when she was
Thank
3,
God you said something.
No, think I did. I mean, but she did say no Saturday nights
That
because you
was
have to go to
last
church on
week.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So I always knew. That's why I'm like, really,
But
that
she
bothered
gave you a reason. She
But I
gave
could
you a
actually
reason.
go out. I just couldn't spend the night out.
No, my mom's just controlling, but there's no C in mother, so I couldn't add that to my.
Control.
She was just very
Oh,
controlling.
no C, yeah.
There's no C. C is silent.
She was really controlling. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what's the
that's-
age difference between 1 and 5?
Like,
First baby and fifth
yeah,
baby.
so
Or
my
4,
oldest
1 and 4.
brother's probably years older than me.
Oh, he is.
And y'all are the babies.
We're the babies.
Okay.
And you're
Yeah.
tight.
Jesus, what a trip.
No.
Okay, that's when you're not.
After
Okay.
3 kids, poof,
We're
you're having
twins.
twins.
The oldest one.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm tight with any of my siblings, but I mean, he's the sweetest. He's the sweetest person.
Do you think all of your siblings are pretty close? Being that you
No.
have 5. Okay.
No,
It's
I think
interesting.
what happens when you have that many kids,
Some are.
I think
though.
some are closer to each other than
Sure.
others. I think there's two brothers I can think of that are probably tight and talk all the time, and then I have
'cause
2
they're
half
all
sisters,
boys.
and I have 2 half sisters, so I think one brother's really tight with the one half sister.
Because they see each other.
And because they
those-
see each other,
They're
yeah.
not included in the 5.
No,
No,
so there's
okay.
7 in total.
There's 7.
Dad had
Oy.
7.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't say I'm tight with, like, I mean, I might be closer to one.
What do y'all
the
think
other.
about this breastfeeding till you're 5?
Oh my God.
I
Okay,
just
you
wanna
know I'm a
What do y'all
neonatal
think?
intensive
I know.
care
Yeah.
nurse.
I know. So tell us
Labor
about
and
it.
delivery nurse.
So tell us about
It's
that.
ridiculous.
And then also tell me about what your thought is of just whipping it out in a restaurant. Now they do pretty good about hiding it
Yeah,
now.
you have the
But
whole
I would
thing.
always get up.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're covered,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. But it becomes like a real psychology thing, I think, after about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'm giving that 2 years some
2
real
years is
grace.
your peak.
Yeah, totally.
I'm giving it
I
some
like
real
it. I like
grace
it.
because, I mean, like, I breastfed to 6 months.
All 3?
No, the boys didn't do well.
Okay.
It was like
I breastfed both my boys, but
6
both about
weeks,
3 to
6
4 months.
months, 3
Yeah.
months.
Kid,
One a
baby
little
dependent.
longer, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Whether
and
they
I'm
can
like,
When I
take
was
Yeah.
done, I was done.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you do it for health reasons.
Right.
For the colostrum, really.
Yeah.
And
Bonding.
I'm not
milk.
one of those people that are like, oh, I think it's
What is your thought? You think it's better?
to breastfeed at first.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, if you can.
if you can, and if you can't, move on.
Right.
Don't
don't
beat
overwork
it.
yourself up
Right.
over it.
Because it's bad for the mom and the baby at that
yes,
point.
at
Yeah.
that point, you tried. Hey,
Right.
it doesn't work every time.
Right.
But you think going to 2 is like a little steep, like a cutoff. They cut the bottle off at a year old. And do
Okay.
they still have that same rule? That
Well,
your
no.
baby's to a year old and you get rid of the
So
bottle?
now they do baby-led weaning. And
That's what it's
Baby
called?
what?
Baby led.
baby-led weaning.
Okay.
So
baby
you know how we
decides-
used to give the babies baby food?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like I made my own baby food.
Sure, I did a lot too.
Yeah.
No more pureeing. You give them a chunk, and they take it and they gnaw
What?
on it. Mm-hmm.
Like
That
a carrot?
helps with their,
Well-
doesn't that help with their myofascial?
I don't know,
Does it
but
keep
like
their
a
jaw
banana.
Yeah.
I
line
mean,
strong?
A chunk of
literally,
what?
as soon as they can sit up,
Yeah.
as soon as they can sit up, and there's certain things, it has to be soft. You're not
Right.
giving them just
You're not
anything.
giving them like a carrot.
Carrot, yeah.
No, but like banana.
Yeah.
Like this, Grayson,
jeez.
the last baby, just gave him banana, and he's just, and beans, like,
Yeah, just let them go for it.
let him go for
With
it.
the hands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I always put the
Fork there.
fork and
Just hoping that
spoon.
they'll learn, yeah.
Yeah, I always do, and, it's usually thrown.
Yeah.
And most of the food is thrown.
Always.
Well, until they hit a certain age that they're really eating, But yeah, I
Golly.
mean, and
Huh.
somebody's going to hear this and go, "Oh, I thought she was all about breastfeeding." I am. That
Not
are
when they have
breastfeeding
teeth.
2-year-olds, and so I personally is a no for me.
Yeah.
Is there any, are you, as a mother, are you able to produce the same quality nutrition after that long? You know what I mean?
that's a good
That's a great
question.
question.
I'm all about, I would pump and be like, I'm going to give you the colostrum first. Like,
Yes.
we're going to do colostrum on both breasts so I can
Right.
get you all the...
All 3
All
years?
of the
Yeah, I was always very let's just get the fore milk off first because that's the brain building, part of the milk.
Yeah, and
These
then
But
you
units-
unit-
I don't
that's
know what
what
you
they
mean
get
by
their-
first. I mean, that colostrum's the first thing that comes out.
yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So I would...
So that's very important.
I would
Yeah.
And I
switch
did
a
do
lot
that.
so they got the colostrum off both breasts.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Well,
You're a
you
perfect
know.
mother. I
Have
mean,
you ever
know.
I am not a perfect mother, but I would say my first, I probably got to maybe 6 months because he was just starving. I mean, it was
Oh,
not
yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
And Veronica,
Longer?
middle one was longer, and then I actually nursed the youngest the longest.
How long?
Yeah.
Did I just offend
No,
you?
no, it was not. No. Less than a year.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's still a very long time without formula. Only breast milk. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Because
With two other babies?
for me, but you were stay-at-home
Good for
mom,
you.
right?
Yeah, I was stay home.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you were
yeah.
like, okay, I
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
And they had
Mine's
good pumps
And
then,
it's,
maybe.
Oh, yeah, the
good
best.
for
Elliot's
kids.
pumps
Yeah.
was horrible
Yeah.
because you had to pump it. You had to plug it in the wall
Yeah,
Right,
mine was
and
yeah.
too.
sit there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're like, "That's all I got." No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing that for 2 or 3
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
That's all.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
I
we
could
used to
feed
freeze
the
it.
whole world. Fort Worth, I could have had my own little breast milk bank.
Too
But
bad.
it's good.
Yeah, I know,
Moms-
but that's not good because you're
Yeah.
like constantly
Leaking.
Yeah.
leaking.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but it
Milk
doesn't really
ducts.
matter. They got the good
Yeah.
stuff, and then you go into. But I,
Yeah.
you know, what's your? Did your kids sleep with you? I mean, like, was that
No.
a no-no? Were you very strict about it? Yeah, the whole. Yeah,
It wasn't that it was like no, but,
what
it's
about,
just
what
You
about
put 'em
your
to bed.
autistic?
yeah. I was gonna say, did she sleep with you?
How did you handle her when she was young and
Yeah, needing more.
So she
Like before she was even sleeping through the night kind of thing, right?
Well, but-
she was not diagnosed until before her second birthday. Now,
That's still pretty early.
yeah, she was diagnosed, and a month later, I found out I was pregnant with them.
What were the signs for you?
Just
eye contact?
eye contact was the big thing, and just I asked a mommy and me teacher who had sort of suggested something to my best friend at the time about her son, and so our kids were sort of diagnosed almost like 6 months apart. We were best friends. We were in the same mommy and me group.
Wow.
And so I had said something to this teacher, knowing that she couldn't like really officially.
Right.
She said, I've been watching her, and I feel like if I were to have her checked for something, it would almost be like sensory integration disorder, which is kind of how we started.
Uh-huh.
Was it
Wow.
hard to come to terms with that? Like a lot of mothers when they don't, at least I've seen this where they just.
It's hard to
real
accept.
hard to go.
Well-
Oh, my kid has. I like no. They don't
I
have
mean,
that.
we kind of knew, and I was already researching Asperger's for something else.
Mm-hmm.
So when her first diagnosis was Asperger's, and we were like, no, it's not Asperger's. We've done
Yeah.
way too much research. We're going to go find the diagnosis that we need, not because we wanted a label, but because we wanted the services.
Yeah.
And she was
Right.
immediately taken off dairy, and eye contact improved, and I had therapists. She had therapy every day for 6 hours. It was behavioral, speech, OT. We did everything, and so
And how old was she?
she was fully diagnosed at
But
2.
Bless
what
her
were the
heart.
symptoms as
And I
an
was
infant?
pregnant.
Do you remember?
Well, for her, it was just kind of like not really social. See, the thing with her is she was very low arousal, so she had no behaviors where you're like, what? Like, not like my best friend whose son was like running down the street naked. Like
Right.
he was a complete,
Or head banging?
just all
Right,
that.
yeah.
She had none of that.
very different, or ears going like this.
None
a
of
lot.
that.
Yeah.
Now, she probably presents more with those things now, but she was pretty low arousal, so it was like, it was subtle. It was like she was just chill but like wouldn't look at you, and then she would sort of be on the outside of what all the other kids were
Yeah.
doing. But it was hard because I already had her brother, and I was
Right.
really careful not to compare their milestones. And she had language, but it wasn't functional.
You see, you're lucky you had the baby before, so you kind of knew what to look for.
Yeah.
I feel like it's harder on mothers that's their first baby.
Yeah, and we
'Cause
went
they
on
just
to have
don't.
a baby after, which
You
not
sure
many
did.
people do.
No, they don't. No, do they not?
Once you get the diagnosis, you're like,
It's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work. So, Evelyn was in the UCLA sibling study, and we were going to get her tested every month. And
Did you
so-
do the hyperbaric and the oxygen
No.
and all of that?
Why do you think that helps?
I have a friend.
I'm not opposed to it.
She's a ER doc, and her husband is a lawyer here in Fort Worth, and they did this oxygen therapy with their son for years, and
Yeah.
he can
It's helped?
drive.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, he's very functional.
Okay, hyperbaric is like Savannah works at one and Alito. I'm like, when can I get in it? Because it is like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
What is it for healing? It's for
It's cell
injury,
rejuvenation.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it
So, like,
started
if
with the divers and the lung
Yeah,
thing.
the-
What's
yeah,
it called?
Bends.
Bends.
Yeah.
Bends, and vets who have legs blown off and stuff like
for,
that.
for wound care.
Right,
it's great.
wound care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it is.
But
Yeah.
now it's like,
Yeah.
But no one
for
normal
cancer
with no
and
wound care
for-
can go in.
Not really. I mean, you could pay for it probably.
yeah, you can pay
But-
for it out of pocket, but it's
I wonder how much it is. I don't know.
well,
Interesting.
it's around. It's like, well, she says if you come and have a consult with her doctor, because there's a doctor obviously who owns it, and then have one dive, it's like $600.
I was going to say it's probably a third of an MRI or something like that. So,
Because
so
our
is
insurance
this
doesn't cover
a
that.
part of the new spa?
Yes.
Interesting.
Holistic. I'm like, oh.
That's
Well, she doesn't work at a spa.
There's a spa connect, like the doctor that owns the hyperbaric facility has a spa right next to it.
Who are you talking about, and what are you talking about?
Hyperbaric.
But where? What's the name of the spa? and who are you-
Clover.
Okay.
It's in Alito.
It's in
Okay.
Alito.
What is that name? Talk
Do you
about
live
it.
in
I'd like
Alito?
you to tell them
No.
about it.
Okay.
No, Savannah works
I-
there. Yeah, and so it's right by the fire station. I don't know the physical address, but
Oh, in downtown Alita?
yes, Clover.
Yeah, I live
Hyperbaric.
in, I mean, I'm in Wash, so I'm not really
Right, yeah.
into
No, it's further
so,
on down.
Yeah.
Well,
Hyperbaric is-
they need those hyperbarics for your brain rejuvenation.
Yeah, and it, I mean, and
That'd be real
and
cool.
You know me, so don't even get me started on the
No, I'd like to hear
On the brain?
on the
on
brain.
well, just on
A
the
functional medicine and
Yes.
pharmaceutical
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
non-pharmaceutical.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I mean, I'm telling you that you don't go
Uh-huh.
from this amount of autism to this
Yeah.
amount. It
I
is-
Agreed.
You know, as a
I
fact,
agree.
being a nerd, there's just no way.
I mean,
the
and
numbers
even
show
the
it.
numbers show it, and you can tell that the pharmaceuticals are just greedy
Yep.
assholes,
God, I know.
basically.
Yeah.
And but even like my ex-husband and I, we didn't vaccinate our kids, and
You didn't?
we didn't all at once. So
Yeah.
what we did,
Yeah, and that's bad. That's the day when
Delayed.
everybody
we
did
delayed.
do it.
Like
yeah.
we gave them. I mean, like
And what years was this? Like when,
82, 84,
Damn.
86.
That's being
That's
ahead of the game.
before, yeah,
no
yeah,
doubt.
That's
when every pediatrician was just going, "You're wrong. You're
well,
wrong.
and
you're
you
wrong."
think about even in the 80s, you were only giving
Yeah, you
what,
weren't giving that many.
6
Yeah.
vaccines.
I mean, I had 4,
yeah, there you go.
and they're trying to give
And
kids now what?
72.
I don't even remember.
It's
I do, 'cause that's my
72
mom. She
by
has
the
my
time
vaccine
they're
card.
18.
So I had 4, and now they're trying to give how many?
72.
That's crazy.
Would you do that now? Oh,
Hell
I don't.
no.
I don't
I'd be
even know that I'd
homeschooling.
vaccinate. To be honest with you, I
No.
don't think I would even vaccinate.
I wouldn't either.
No, at this point,
I'm that.
absolutely
That's how
not.
much I've. Yeah.
Well, and you look at it, when I worked neonatal intensive care, when those babies got to the intensive care, we automatically gave them vitamin K, the Hep B shot.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Now, I will say,
Hep B.
where I worked in Dallas was very high risk, and we had a lot of what we called garbage babies. And either
kidding?
gas station, garbage can.
They were thrown in the garbage can.
Yes. Yes. And those babies were most likely drug
Yeah,
babies.
probably did have, yeah.
And we just automatically
Very, very
treated
sad.
them.
Oh my God.
When we think we have it bad, the minute
Jesus.
you hear that, I just,
Yeah.
I know that's reality.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm in my little box over here, you know.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Not even really. So you saw a lot of those
A lot.
and the mothers. So what happens to the babies after that when you saved them?
Well, some of the mothers actually
Would not
show
be able
up.
to do that. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do they show up for?
Well, they show up 'cause
72 hours later because they have guilt.
They decided they wanted their
Uh-huh.
baby, and then social work gets involved,
Uh-huh.
and it's a whole
Damn.
ordeal.
And so the majority of them get their baby back.
I wouldn't say that. But what's interesting about
they have
that
to make a
that
scrapbook?
group of
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I
group
see.
of parents were probably the rudest to us nurses.
Yeah, if you
Of
like
course they
save
are.
their baby, well,
Well, they're
Right.
addicts.
Yeah, and they
right?
were just
so they're just
totally
they're
rude.
erratic,
Yeah, yeah,
and so they're using. They use the whole pregnancy.
yeah,
You know, think about that.
yeah.
And then people that I've just always
so
found it
sad.
very interesting, these young mothers that say they never knew they were pregnant. I kind of get the idea that they might not have known, I don't know, like after after 6 months after, you don't know.
No, but I think
It's a thing.
Yes, it's a thing. And literally, we had a 13-year-old girl who was molested by her uncle, and she was very obese and came in
Okay,
with
that
a
makes
stomach
sense
ache.
then.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
that
came in
makes sense.
13.
13.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that Margaret makes sense. That makes sense because you're fat, but the skinny girls, you would
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
you're
yeah.
automatically, you're going,
you'd be like,
you
what's
know.
this? Do I have
Yeah.
a tumor?
You can't get your jeans on. you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a
Well,
lot
hell,
of those.
it wasn't
is
even
what
that
they're
long
talking
ago
about.
at Country Day with the jumpers. It was like less than 15 years ago, and one of the upper schoolers,
I have no idea.
The
I wouldn't go to
jumpers.
Country
What's
Day.
the jumper?
the jumpers that Country Day wears, and she hit it.
Oh, the jumpers.
Yeah, she
So
hit
she
her
was
pregnancy.
pregnancy and
Yeah.
hit it. Oh, because the
Really?
jumpers are pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was
Had
she
no
a
idea.
glad
She had
hit?
no idea. No.
She didn't know she was pregnant. Is
She
she
didn't. I mean,
is she a bigger girl?
not really.
Then that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, because your clothes are, I mean, I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
But my last, I don't know how much weight you gained. I'm 5'9".
Yeah,
My
you're
last
tall.
child, I was 116 when I got pregnant, but I weighed 180 something when I had him.
Did you have diabetes? What
No,
the-
and he was almost 11 pounds.
That,
Oh my
that's
God,
why. That
yeah.
was the first or third?
Third, and that was it. I was like, no more.
Yeah.
Well, of course not.
I'm
Why do
done.
you think
I'm
you,
done
why do you
with
think you
you. Yeah.
gained so much?
I think because I was only 116 pounds.
Yeah, you're probably underweight.
I was underweight.
Yeah, 5'9".
I think.
Yeah, but gaining,
Yeah.
they want you to gain 30 pounds. That's about the average. They
Yeah.
really do. But
Yeah.
for you to gain
Yeah,
70,
70.
that's a lot.
Did you have
Yeah.
issues with the delivery?
No,
No.
Nice.
Because she's tall.
no.
You
Yeah.
probably needed to weigh
No,
that.
and I had all my kids at my ex-husband's office.
Did he deliver them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Was he a
Wait, was that
gynecologist?
No, he's no.
Okay,
GP.
interesting.
Really?
I mean, you're thinking in the 80s, Yeah.
wow.
What does that mean?
Well,
Was it just him?
Well, no. I mean, it was a friend
staff?
of mine. No, I was his staff. I was his nurse.
Remember they met? She was 18.
Well, I know, but like other staff
remember she was
members,
16.
No, it was
not just she and her
it was
husband
it was
slash
just my
doctor.
friend. I didn't want them in there. It was just my friend. And I had no drugs, zero. Back then, I was like, "Oh, I don't want
You're
it
a rock
crossing the
Yeah.
placenta."
And how many
my God.
babies you had no drugs
Damn,
with?
woman.
Three.
All
of
three,
them.
yeah.
And let me tell you what I told my daughter: get that epidural.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Did you tell her?
Yes, I'm like,
It's calmer. It calms you.
Yeah.
I'm like, get it, take it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
Oy.
Like, yeah, ask me if I'd ever do that again. No.
No.
Is there something
Give
that
me
you
a negative.
guys wish you had done? Like, you wish there's like time? What is there something that you wish you had done that maybe you didn't do when they were little that or that being a mother when they're younger and not now because they're adults, but like, what would have been something that you maybe regret you didn't do more of? I mean, does anybody have any?
Well, it's always time for me.
Yeah, that's what
Time.
time
I
came out of
think
my.
in giving them each,
Or time, or just spending. I think I definitely spent a lot of quality, right? But I think I could have been more playful. But I think I was pretty good. But I think I could have been really good.
Yeah.
Like slide down do it, really get after it.
Yeah. I think, it's, I can't remember who I was talking to. So I had this very bad habit, I think, of maybe trying too hard and trying too hard to be perfect.
I get it.
And so I think that my regret would be that I would just like chill out a little bit and not try to make everything
So perfect.
So perfect.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so I wish I would have
Hello,
like
30s.
relaxed a little more.
God, everybody's
And,
like in the 30s. It's like, gotta be this.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny because my my son, he once said to me, he said, "Mom, it's just like if I ask for snow, you give me Christmas. Like you don't have to.
Everything doesn't have to be
You don't have
just
to
so
fucking overdo
extensive.
it. Yeah, and nothing has to be doesn't have to be everything doesn't have to be a photo shoot.
Extreme.
Everything doesn't have to be like a gourmet meal. He was just like,
I think you did tell me that one time when I
and
spoke
it was
to you
like,
about it. That,
oh shit, okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't. A lot of people might have like they cook more. I cook breakfast.
it was
cook dinner
like
almost
gourmet
every night. Yeah, yours was gourmet. Mine was just dinner.
Crazy shit.
But I do regret maybe not. I mean, I would
on the fly.
go and play, but nothing like I'll just go outside for a little while. I wish I'd done more like. Never
did a
said
lot.
no. I
Eating
mean, I
dirt.
feel like
Yeah,
I
eating
played and
dirt.
I rode bikes with them and I did all that, but I could have maybe done more. Maybe not been so like time pressure, like it's such a short time.
Yeah.
And I could have done more like time of just going
it's
drop
insane.
all that, drop
agree.
all of it, and just go do. If they say go out there and build that toy, just do it. Like the Legos, but like no, you do it. Like I don't enjoy building Legos, but I should have done more of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's hard to like find that balance between like engaging with your kids, but then also like them playing and playing is a way
Playtime.
to learn. Yeah, I mean it's not just playing. I mean they're problem solving. They're trying to figure things out. They're so like when do you let them kind of like do their own thing and letting them individuate, and then or when are you just like I mean I think my youngest, it was very funny. She had this like sleepover. This was elementary school, and the play date, that mom was like wanted to be involved in everything. Like they made a fort and their mom and the mom's like, hey,
okay, so
what are we doing?
That's a little overkill.
And they were like,
maybe I don't regret
Yeah,
that.
no. And my daughter would be like, I'm here for a play date with like little,
people.
Jeans.
Little
Susie. Yeah, I'm not here, and they'd be like,
Weirdo, go get me some Cheetos.
Right.
Yes, so this is kind of a wild story. So now I raised my kids in Southern California, so there's different, it's a little looser maybe, get some, alternative thinking, and so she went to this sleepover, and now again, this child was never allowed to sleep anywhere else but like her own house. Of
course.
So, and my kid was like the chill kid that could like go to all right,
everybody's house.
Yeah, exactly. So she goes and she comes home and she's like, Mom, what are those like flowery things that like go on your nipples? And I'm like,
don't tell me.
And I said, those are called like, I don't know, like flower.
What are they called?
They're like
pasties.
The pasties, like
yeah.
She said, well, that her friend's mom was just like walking around, like, just walking around in her underwear and like still had her.
Was it crocheted like from the 60s?
I find that to be very, very strange.
And she said to me,
people do that.
And she said to me, I want you to call her and tell her.
How old is she?
I mean, she was in elementary school.
This is her baby.
Third, fourth grade. I want you to call her and tell her that it made me uncomfortable. And I was like, sure, I'll do that. I'll get to that, right? So I kind of avoided it because I was like, oh my God.
And you hate confrontation.
Well, yes. So I wish I'd been, I mean, I was pretty
made my
confrontational.
child uncomfortable today.
But I didn't even have to do that. The mom called me, or she texted me, and she said, is there something going on with, Evelyn and blah, 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 and is there a reason? Is there a reason why? Now, and my daughter had asked. She had even followed up with that and was like, "Have you called her yet?" And I was like, "Oh. No, I haven't." Okay. So, but then I didn't have to because I got this text, and it was from this mom, and she was like, "Did something happen? Is there a reason why she doesn't want to sleep over?" I was like, this is my opportunity. And I said, do you have time to talk? Yeah. And I called her and I said, now the question is there a reason why she doesn't want to sleep over? So I'm just going to address this one thing.
Question.
And I said, she was just a little uncomfortable with the fact that you were like, and I told her straight out that you were walking around like kind of in your hanky pankies, and she saw your she saw your butt and she saw these things and it like really freaked her out.
Nipple
and
covers.
it made her uncomfortable. The immediate reaction is like, oh my God, we would never want to make her feel uncomfortable.
Really? But why are you walking around half nude?
But then it got to, I could hear it in her voice. Yeah. Then it turned to, but that's like how we live, and like that's how we
you were
are,
born.
and we've never had
Yes,
anybody complain. And I said, you can live the way you want to live. You asked me a question.
Yeah.
She's not comfortable with this.
Yeah.
So as long as you're going to do that, she will never come over for a sleepover.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I don't
You
care
said
what
it?
you do. Yes, I said I don't care what you do.
It's not my business.
I'm not telling you how to live your life, but you asked me the question, why is she uncomfortable, and this is the answer.
And how'd that work out? Did she ever spend the night?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so these friends, were they not friends? These little girls, little girls.
Little
I'm sure they're
girls,
discussing
they get
this, and
get
then
nasty, and
and
you
did it
know,
get nasty?
I mean,
Now
you know,
you're kicked out of the group.
Well, I think at that point, I will say, for
so
my little
big.
one, she was just like, I tried not to get involved unless I'm
Right.
like either asked to, or there was another incident where I was walking by her bedroom and she was having a play date with this other little girl, and I hear my daughter say, you know what? I'm really tired of you telling me about all these people that don't like me. And I was like, what? And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, like she just keeps telling me about all these other girls at school that don't like me. And I was just like, guess what? You should not be talking about people who aren't here. Okay, you should be enjoying your time
little
together.
date.
Yeah, and that's not, that's not fun. You are in our house, and that's not fun for, Evelyn, and like, why
Your
are
host.
you? Yeah. And then I got a call, an hour later from the mom, was like, okay, so and so called me because she's crying and she wants to come home, and I was like, come pick her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she crying in front of you?
No,
You
she
remember
just
her
was.
crying?
I think I probably scared the shit out of this kid. 'Cause I was
Well, of
just like-
course. I
Yeah.
mean, like, that's the thing I think
Yeah.
girls do. Boys fight
Yeah.
and they get over it and they do it between themselves. They don't get a lot of parent interaction. Girls just get really
it gets like, so
tedious
there was a
and
lot of stepping
feelings
in.
hurt
Yeah.
and-
But
I think it's hard.
Yeah, I'll say too that like
Oh,
my
it's
son.
Not hard. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, and my son had
And they're
problems
cutthroat.
with girls too. I mean, there were mean girls to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
so-
Further?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
dating. But dating.
And still
That kind of thing. It's a little much. I
No,
mean,
it's even like
girls
girls
are
on the
tough.
playground.
Yeah.
And then
on the
now, I know,
playground.
and now you got
You're
girls
weird.
that have
Yeah.
phones and they show their body
And if
parts.
she's popular, the other boys are believing it,
If you-
and
Yeah.
they're like, "Ooh,
If
maybe
you
this
today,
kid should be out."
let's say this: if you
it's
today
true.
had the phone, the iPad, all that, you're raising your kids from the beginning, from birth, which I didn't have any of that with Elliot really, and then Wyatt, like whatever, but like
They were the last
older.
generation.
I feel like
What
they were the
would
last
you would you
generation.
okay? So would you have strict rules?
Mm-hmm.
Me too, no doubt.
they'd all be.
Because once you start to
they would
realize,
Doesn't matter what-
those kids do not be
Yeah.
on an iPad, and there
Yeah.
needs to be time limits,
No.
and there needs, and I don't think a phone really.
They would all be in my bedroom.
But you can do the watch now, or other stuff that you don't have a phone. So if you want
You
to
have a
get
monocular
that,
with the
if you want to get
with
that,
your
Still call
iPad
on
on
the
it.
watch.
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. But you don't
No.
have all the other
No
stuff.
electronics. Zero.
Yeah, I would do
And
that.
and yeah, right.
Yep.
Because I feel like they need to get back to riding bikes, being real kids,
Yeah.
like
Eating
we
the
were.
dirt.
I was eating
Eating
the
the
dirt.
dirt.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just
Literally.
being real kids
Except we can't eat the dirt now because of the.
because of the ozone.
Because of the spray.
No, because of the chemical
glyphosate.
trays.
It's so hard to
Jesus.
ground.
It really is hard to ground with all the
And
chemtrails.
people think,
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
you're
Laura,
a
stop it!
conspiracy theorist, but it's
But it's
true.
a fact. There's no
It's a
no
fact.
conspiracy theories. It's
Yeah,
the
you
truth.
say,
doing
"Oh,
it.
you just
There's
want them to get
chemtrails.
outside."
They're doing it.
And now
I
we've
mean,
got. Oh, I didn't even think
Everybody's
about that.
admitted it.
Yeah.
Florida banned it.
Florida did.
Yeah.
And you see it
Damn.
really strong in Virginia. Like there's certain states I think
Yeah.
that really see the chemtrails.
Yeah.
Like
So-
you would just look at it and go, "What is that?"
So don't eat the dirt.
Yeah.
So now you can't eat dirt.
Plus there's like worms
You can't-
and parasites.
You
Yeah.
can't. You
Jesus.
can't. You can't drink your own urine. You can't.
Certified health nut does. He drinks his urine.
Who does?
Did y'all grow up with? Did you grow up with monkey blood?
No, what's that?
No.
God,
No, it
yeah,
was. We
yeah.
were every time we had something on our, like
Bite.
It's an iodine. It was
Yeah.
iodine. Monkey blood.
Oh, iodine.
You probably
yeah.
called it iodine because you were a nurse.
Yeah.
My mom said monkey blood. Did yours?
But I didn't
Yeah.
use iodine.
Why?
That's
'Cause it was like
way
My
back.
mom did. Well, okay, I was born in 1967.
Well, you're younger than me. I'm
My
the
parents
oldest.
did.
Your mom
too.
didn't use the iodine on cuts and bruises and.
My mom probably did. I don't remember it though.
Oh, and that yellow brown crap. Yeah.
I do remember trying to go outside and put lemon juice on my hair.
I did that.
Oh yeah, we did that. Yeah,
That's like
in the 80s.
pre-
Yeah,
And
sunny.
and oil all over your
Yeah.
body.
And it didn't matter
Crisco.
what I put on
Crisco.
my skin. I was not going to get a tan.
Did you cover your kids in sunscreen?
I did
No.
not.
It's
I didn't
good-
cover.
It's probably a good thing because
did
they're
not.
saying sunscreen's kind of
It's
causing.
the cancer causer.
Yeah. Do you put sunscreen on your face every day?
I put Ulta MD. I brought all of my face.
Oh, I know
stuff.
what that is.
Oh, that's right, you did. Oh, good,
brought
yay,
it all.
yay. Okay, I
Yeah,
want to see
make
it.
my own beef tallow.
Yeah,
face
I want to try it.
stuff.
Yeah, I just think
I
I think too
don't-
much. I don't put
do
sunscreen on my face
sunscreen.
every day either.
No,
So
I mean coconut
Blocks my
oil
pores.
works.
Yeah.
oh,
it
it
Love
keeps
coconut
you away
oil.
from the
it has
sun.
Yeah.
a sun
barrier.
A berry. And
Yeah.
if you just stay away from seed oils too, that'll.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't cook or anything with seed oils.
No.
Do you?
No.
No.
I mean, I'm sure we grew up on seed oils. What would my mom
Hell, I
have
don't
cooked in
even cook
seed
anymore.
oils?
Like Crisco and
Not
safflower.
really. She
Yes!
didn't really cook in
30
that.
years of
Well,
cooking.
I say I
I'm
don't,
like,
but-
doot, doot, doot.
I,
Sorry
I
about
drink
you.
a lot of broth.
Yeah, bone broth.
Yeah.
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 You think you
That's
ate?
a whole. That's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic.
conversation,
I mean,
yeah.
we could just talk about it on and on and on, but let's end this by like literally saying like what you're most grateful for being a mom. It start with you, Laura.
What I'm most grateful for. I'm grateful that I am a mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one.
I think that it's the most. I can't imagine not being a mom. It's
Yeah.
the most important thing, I think. And not that my husband's not important, but being a mom, it's its own.
Well, you wouldn't be a mom without a partner.
Right.
So you have to be grateful for the partner that got you to the point of being a
Being
mom.
a mom.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, they always say
And-
God says put your partner first and then your children. It's like, well, I think
And
you
it's
got
like-
that wrong.
Yeah.
that parable's wrong.
But don't you
Yeah.
agree? I just wanted to raise neat, good
Yes.
adults.
Humans.
Happy.
Happy
Children.
happy, polite.
But
Well, I mean,
anyway,
I'm not too happy, but I mean, I would say that
just being a mother.
just being a mom, being able to have the kids, and also just, I mean, it's probably the hardest and most rewarding hard thing I've ever done. You know,
Yeah.
anything I've ever done.
I mean, it is not for the weak.
No.
First of all, giving birth is not for the weak. Carrying the baby, but then actually raising children that actually are functioning adults, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
is hard.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding, and I think I think it's the most important job I've ever done. Like I
Yeah.
love
Oh, 1000%.
my job, but I really loved being a mom.
Yeah.
And I think the gap between mine, which was so nice, is that I realized because I'd had the one younger and then waited whatever.
Yeah.
You're like so appreciative, and you're like, oh yeah, this is like. When you're younger, you're rushing and you're busy and whatever. Then you get older and you realize, okay, it's a very important job.
Yeah.
I don't think when you're young you realize that.
No.
The older you get, you're like,
It's
I'm
a
34
short
years old having a
time.
baby, and I better get it right. You know, like you. So
Yeah.
I forgive myself, Elliot, that I had you younger. You were my little guinea pig. Oink, oink. Just kidding, baby. But anyway, it is a wonderful thing to be a mother. What about you, Margaret?
Oh, the same little. Hell, I'm literally just. I wanted a baker's dozen, and I'm just happy
Glad to have one.
Yeah, glad to have one with
Yeah.
2 bonus kids. Yeah,
It's wonderful.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate all of you guys coming on. And
having us.
I hope
Thank
you have a
you.
wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. What are y'all going to do for Mother's Day? Anything exciting, or just like what do you prefer to do? Be by yourself in a room? Do
No.
No, they're Sunday fun day.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
we have a wedding this weekend, so we're driving back on Sunday in time to get back for Mother's Day.
And all the kids will
Nice.
come, and you'll cook. You have to cook, or
It'll
Surely not.
It's probably going to be like, I don't know, Mi Casina or
good. Perfect.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
whatever.
Pick
I'm
up
like,
What about
something.
you,
So-
Jackie?
No.
Will any of your kids be here? Oh
I
yeah.
will have Veronica,
Yeah.
so I will go out to Waxahachie and pick her up.
Perfect.
And then we're just gonna sit by the pool, and Roger's gonna cook, and then I'll drive her back.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I want to do. I don't want to go out to
I don't
eat.
love
I
all the
don't-
hoopla of
I don't
Mother's
like
Day
all
so
that
much.
stuff.
Some people love all that
Yeah.
where you
No.
go. I mean, I'm going to go to church with my mom, and
Yeah.
hopefully the one kid here will go. But yeah, otherwise I don't. The Mother's Day brunch is fine. I'd much rather
Yeah.
just be watching.
I'd rather be at
I'd rather
home.
do what I want to do, and that
Yeah.
would be hanging out at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
enjoy my pool.
Yeah,
I know.
she just got a new pool. Margaret, what are you going to
Nice.
do? You know yet, hon?
No, I don't know. But
You'll figure it out.
yeah, it'll be with Savannah because nobody else is here.
But
Yeah.
you would prefer to just hang out at your home than do
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
for
Mother's
sure.
Day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There's no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no-
every day's Mother's Day, guys.
True.
You to really think about that. We're kind of blessed to have every day is like
The frowns.
you're
and the
like the
smiles.
best of the best. Yeah. Well, let's end that by saying, God bless all y'all.
Yeah.
I hope you have a wonderful
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
Happy
Thank you for
Mother's
coming
Day.
on. And
You're blessed if you can actually say Happy Mother's Day to your own self.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want all of you to go away with this. And if you have mothers at home, write your mother a little poem. I think
Yeah.
writing your mother a poem or something special like that or a letter is more important than buying a big gift.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Agree.
Thanks for joining me.
Heavenly
Thank you for
notes.
coming on Fully Erect.
Thanks, sister.
Thanks, guys.